The site of the Iguazu Park consists of the National Park and National Reserves in Misiones province, northeastern Argentina. The Iguazu River forms the northern boundary of both the reserves and park, and also the southern boundary of Iguazu National Park World Heritage Site in Brazil. Within the Brazilian rainforest biogeographical province, there are 11 other protected areas, including the adjacent Iguazu National Park in Brazil. Together, the two Iguazu parks comprise almost two-thirds of the protected acreage found in this province, as all other areas are smaller and most have a lesser degree of protection. No other location has the spectacular feature of the waterfalls, which is one of the world's most outstanding scenic locations. Along with the falls, the vegetation and wildlife resources of the park make it one of the most unique in all the Neotropical realm. This natural sanctuary, bestowed with benevolent rains and temperatures, brings about a very humid atmosphere, almost windless, due to the leafy vegetation canopy. The vegetation is mostly subtropical wet forest, rich in lianas and epiphytes, although the forests have less species diversity when compared with others in Brazil and parts of Paraguay. Clouds of spray soak the surrounding area and support a luxuriant vegetation, an extraordinary natural feature. The Iguazu National Park owes its name to the fact that it includes an important area of the Iguazu River. The word Iguazu means big water in the Tupi-Guarani etymology. The Iguazu River is the largest river in Paraná. Its source is near the mountain range do Mar, at the junction of the Ivai and Palmital rivers. After the spectacle of the falls, the Iguazu River follows its course to its estuary when it meets the Paraná River and forms the magical triple border, which is the harmonious relationship among three countries: Brazil, Argentina and Paraguay. The Iguazu River, which forms the falls 18 kilometers before the river meets the Paraná River, overcomes a ground unevenness and plunges 65 meters with a width of 2,780 meters. Its geological formation dates back to approximately 150 million years. The upper circuit starts from the new visitor center. From the upper circuit, the visitor can see the top of the Argentinian Falls, San Martin Island, and part of the Brazilian side of the falls. All along the above-mentioned prominent curve, a proliferation of reefs, islets, and prolonged islands provoke the fragmentation of the river in numerous branches. When the river reaches the cliff, each branch becomes a waterfall and together comprise the Great Iguazu Waterfalls. One of the best ways to see the waterfalls is to do a boat trip. The boat trip ride starts in front of St. Martin's Island. The heads into the Devil's Throat Canyon on inflatable speed boats to receive an unforgettable baptism under the falls. The total width of the fall in the Brazilian territory is around 800 meters and 1,900 meters on the Argentinian side. Depending on the river flow, the number of waterfalls ranges from 150 to 300, and the height of said waterfalls ranges from 40 to 82 meters, accounting for a 2,700 meter semicircular shape. The individual waterfalls may range from 20 to 300, depending on the water volume. The large waterfalls are 19, 3 of them on the Brazilian side, while the remaining ones are on the Argentinian side. The position of the waterfalls, most of them on the Argentinian side and facing Brazil, provide a better view to those admiring the scenery from the Brazilian side. The discovery of the waterfall started with Cabeza de Vaca, a great Spaniard explorer who was born in Spain. He was the discoverer of the falls. Before sailing the Iguazu and Paraná rivers, he had been in North America, where he traveled Mississippi, Arkansas, Colorado, New Mexico and Arizona, and reached California in 1536. Cabeza de Vaca led a Spaniard expedition that traveled through the region, inhabited by the Cayagangi and Tupi-Guarani Indians, towards the settlement of Assumption, which was a strategic point to enable Spaniards to reach the Inca Empire. Along the first obstacles faced during the trip, as he canoed downriver in search of a route to Assumption in Paraguay, the discoverer was impressed as he saw the falls for the first time. He christened them Waterfalls of St. Mary. They call it in Argentina the ecological train. The train was brought from England and has been designed for this area. It's open and runs by natural gas. The train speed limit inside the park is 20 km per hour, giving people opportunity to take pictures and appreciate the environment. Inside the park there are 3 stations, at the entrance of the park, leading to superior and lower circuits, and leading to the brink of the Devil's Throat. The largest quantity of water passes through this part of Iguazu Falls. Named Garganta del Diablo, it means Devil's Throat. This part of the falls is very high. 80 meters high according to the Brazilians, or 72 meters high according to the Argentinians. The fauna typical of the region includes tapir, coati, tamandua, raccoon, a rich ovifauna, and a variety of lower vertebrates and invertebrates. Threatened mammals as the jaguar, ocelot and tiger cat amongst the carnivores, and the giant ant-eater and Brazilian otter are also found. Primates include the black-capped capuchin and black howler monkey. There is also a small population of the endangered broad-nosed caiman and of the threatened Brazilian merganser. Visiting Iguazu Falls from the Argentine means going to the heart of the waterfalls. The bridges lead the visitor to admire the spectacular waterfalls from different angles. Reaching the very edge of the Devil's Throat is a unique experience. In Iguazu National Park, in the Argentinian side, visitor will find various circuits: Inferior, Superior, Garganta del Diablo, Isla Saint Martin, and the Macuco and Yacaracia trails. With a moving heart to describe beauty and power, this site offers an impressive array of sounds and landscapes. Through this catwalk, you'll reach the top of Garganta del Diablo, appreciating the fall's vacuum and water powers. 3 ring-shaped balconies permit a special view of the colossal throat. Here, the water falls with such potency that it creates dense clouds of vapor as it pours into the river below. The Iguazu Falls are one of the most outstanding shows of nature. Legend has it that the Cayagangi Indians who inhabited the banks of the Iguazu River believed that the world was ruled by Mboy, a god in the shape of a serpent, and who was the son of Tapa. Igobi, the tribe chieftain, had a daughter named Naipi, who was so beautiful that the water of the river remained still every time she looked at herself in them. Because of her beauty, Naipi had been promised to Mboy and lived solely to worship the god. However, there was among the Kaiganki a young warrior named Tarubá who fell in love with an api. On the day the beautiful Indian maiden was to be consecrated, while the chieftain and the witch doctor drank home, a drink made of fermented corn, and the warriors were busy dancing, Tarubá took the opportunity and eloped down the river in a canoe with beautiful Naipi. When Imboy realized that Tarubá and Naipi had run away together, he became furious and dove deep into the ground, twisting his body and producing a large gorge that gave birth to a huge waterfall. Engulfed by the water, the canoe and the escapees fell from a great height and disappeared forever. The legend says that Naipi was turned into one of the rocks in the center of the falls, which is permanently flogged by the raging waters. Tarubá was turned into a palm tree standing at the edge of a cliff, leaning on the river's gorge. Under this palm tree, there is the entrance of a cave under the Devil's Gorge, where the vengeful monster lies eternally watching its two victims. The result of a long-ago volcanic eruption, Iguazu Falls lies along a crescent-shaped rim. One of the most awesome of the world's natural wonders, Iguazu Falls is an experience of a lifetime. Located primarily in Argentina, the falls are in a semi-tropical jungle ecosystem. The magnitude and overall length of Iguazu Falls ensures that it will be kept in the pantheon of great waterfalls of the world. Iguazu Falls belongs right up there with Victoria Falls and Niagara Falls when it comes to the most beautiful waterfalls of all.